Okay, so I want to go ahead and review all three of these at the same time because let's be honest, modern comics like these from 2011, it's really one comic book spread out over 3 issues at $2.99. Basically, you're spending $9 for one comic book. So this is the issue 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3 of the Flashpoint Kid Flash Lost. All right. So overall, I didn't have as much fun with this as I was hoping I would. I was really hoping it'd be a lot more fun since this Kid Flash is impulse, basically. It keeps on giving his biography over and over again. So that's a good thing because if you've never read, and if you don't know which Kid Flash it is, you wouldn't have a clue. But it gives you the information. You know, grandson of the Flash, you got to get a grandson of the Flash. Bart Allen was born in a distant future and raised in virtual reality environment. After he began aging in a hyper-accelerated rate, he was brought back to our time where he combined efforts of his era's speedster's ability, He combined efforts of this era's speedster stabilized with his metabolism. The impulsive, hint, hint, young man has since learned to tap into the speed force and has grown more to be the role of the fastest teen alive. So he went from impulse to Kid Flash by this point. This is right before, of course, you know, Flashpoint was that crossover kind of crisis that took everything that we knew and made it into the New 52. That was kind of like they're helping you to tie up loose ends and reboot the universe. So overall, Kid Flash, this is number 1, number 2, number 3. What happens in all 3 altogether is basically he hooks up with a girl that's she's not really a speedster, not hooks up in a sexual way. I'm just saying he wakes up with finding out he's in Brainiac, who in the future has basically taken over the Earth for several hundreds of years. And the Brainiac looks more like that guy right there. The Brainiac's pretty cool looking. I do like the art of that. And then this girl comes along. She's from the past, and she has a motorcycle, and they need to find the Speed Force energy for the motorcycle. It really actually starts off with her, and you know, this is where we start off with him, but it starts off with her being chased by cops, and then she basically tears a hole in the time continuum trying to get to, I guess, impulse is what we're trying to get to. All right, so basically she finds him. In the end, she has to sacrifice herself in order to save him, in order for him to find the Flash and save the universe. And we all know what happens in the long run. So all those efforts, I won't spoil it for you. So the art on the cover, I want to give it a B because it's not, you know, C is normal. So if you think C is bad, like I'm an impulsive person, I got a B, it's the end of my life. B is actually above average. So I would say it's above average. It's not like George Perez. George Perez would be A+. Or John Byrne or Jim Lee. Those would be A+ people. This is B. No offense to anybody who's involved here, like Sterling Gates. It's good. It's just not that good. The interior art is pretty much the same thing, I would say. There are times when it actually pulls off a high B to maybe even an A, like I said, like the way some of the splash pages do. Like the splash page with the, you know, giant Borg, you know, version of him, the Brainiac Borg. And a few times that Kid Flash looks pretty cool and that she looks pretty cool, the way they're just overall artwork. But then a few times it's like a little bit flat, like right there, she looks very flat. And I know you're like, well, it's a flat page. It just doesn't, it's something about the art. It's just not as rounded as it should be. And not complaining. I mean, this guy can obviously do better than me. He's a professional. But I'm just giving you my opinion. All right, for the story, I'm going to have to give it a C. I was really hoping for more, and even though I was hoping for more, C is what I can live with. It wasn't something it didn't make me or break me, you know? D would break me, and F would be like, I hate this. I'm never going to read this. I'm going to tear it up right in front of you. A B would be above average, and A is like, oh my gosh, if you don't read this, you're missing it. So C, I'll give it a C for the story. So we got cover art, interior art, story, and then the overall concept. The overall concept is actually pretty good. That's probably more of a B. I think it kind of fails where it was trying to do. And maybe it's just my not knowing about the Flashpoint as well as I thought I did. Like I was not reading comics at this time. I was way too busy with other things. But going back and trying to find out, like, what happened with the universe that I knew, because I kind of knew the universe before this, although, like I said, my expertise is from 75 to 95. After that, it's kind of like, as it goes away from it, so does my standard deviation. As you get farther and farther from 75 to 95, I don't have a clue. Like modern stuff, I don't have a clue. And this is what I would actually consider very much modern, but not well outside the toleration realm. All right, and then overall concept, like I said, B, because it's not like, you know, amazing, but it's also not a failure. And it's a little bit above average because they are dealing with the termination of a universe and how to neatly tie things up. And I guess I could spoil it a little bit. Let me go to the very last few pages. Oh, well, the last few pages is a totally different preview to a TPB. But this is kind of cool. I like how he went to full blast white kid Flash. And then, spoiler alert, he dies. But then again, doesn't everybody die in this universe? Although I've heard now that all the universes are alive again, technically, sort of. It's like, run, Grandpa, run. So, you know how in Crisis on Infinite Earth, that's what happened to Barry Allen. We get now Bart Allen is doing what Barry Allen did in Crisis. So it's kind of a homage, a drawback to something from the past that we all grew up and knew about. So in that aspect, I'll give it a B instead of a C. But then again, we know, at least I know a little bit more than what's outside of this realm of comic books. And even though he sacrificed his life so that the Flash can hopefully save the universe, from what I understand, the Flash is the whole reason we got the New 52. Bad Flash, bad. So if Flash didn't try to go back and save his mom, we wouldn't have the New 52. And therefore, comic books would still be good. I honestly, that's the only thing I've heard. I don't know. I don't know firsthand. But yeah, I think that's really cool. So that art right there, that's whenever it starts to shine and look more like an A. Like this page right here is an A. All about it. Everything, the layouts, the everything about this is an A, but it doesn't hold up all the way through. So that's why I gave it a lower grade. And overall, I would say it's one of those stories that if you read it or don't read it, it's not going to make you or break you. So I'm going to have to give it a C just because if I never read this, I don't think I'd miss it. And then again, if I did read it, I don't think it enriched my life. So that's why it's going to be average. Or not B average, C average. So let me know what you personally think. Did this change your life? Was it just a blip on the radar? Did you read it? Did you enjoy it? Did you agree with my grades? Let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Anytime that you can give me a little message at the end, it makes my day. And I really appreciate that.